Good evening, everyone. I'm Carissa Lehmkuhl.
A Yakima woman missing for more than 24 hours in the woods northwest of Natchez was found alive yesterday. A new extensive federal report recommends against breaching the 4 lower Snake River dams. This right here, it's just a 36-page summary. The full report is thousands of pages long. This actually runs through the downtown area, and this water is gushing. I don't know if you can hear it right now.
Tonight, Governor Inslee says schools in most of the state's counties should strongly consider online-only learning for students this fall. Lawmakers in Congress are working on 2 competing proposals to create national rules for police work. Things you use every day are made with helium. Internet cables and computer hard drives, even your iPhone. Inside your phone, there's a small semiconductor chip.
Why wouldn't you frequent the library?
There's free movies, there's free books, free activities. I spent a lot of time in the library as a kid. Maybe it shows, I don't know. Fall is not canceled, and it sure won't feel like it if you come to Country Mercantile this weekend. You can take a hayride, go through the corn maze, or walk over to the pumpkin patch and take home the perfect pumpkin.
I'm a little bummed. I was at the San Diego Zoo in November, and I didn't get the chance to see this animal.
Man, I love zoos.
You've never been to a zoo.
I've never been to a zoo.
He's never been to a zoo. Isn't that crazy?
But I do know what's going on in weather. Let's take a look at our final. It is a zoo.
Local news at 6.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Carissa Lehmkuhl.
I'm Jason Valentine. Thank you so much for joining us.
And a new report from the Washington State Department of Health has more positive numbers to start with tonight. According to this most recent study, transmission of COVID-19 is slowing overall in eastern Washington. Now, the study also looks at a variety of factors like mobility rate. So it shows that people aren't necessarily staying home more than they were, say, a few months ago. But with the cases down, it does seem like masking and social distancing when you are out may be contributing. Now, starting today, weddings, funerals, and gyms must have limited attendance and some stricter social distancing rules. According to the recent changes to the Safe Start plan effective today, indoor capacity at weddings and funerals must be limited to a max of 30 people, and 6 feet of social distancing must be maintained between people from different households. Outdoor ceremonies are also limited to 30 people with similar social distancing guidelines. The Tri-Cities area has grown a lot in recent years, but one thing that hasn't changed much, developments along the Columbia River. KVU's Jamison Kiefover spoke with local and federal officials today about some potential changes along the shores. And efforts are underway to transform other areas of Kennewick's waterfront, and the port wants your help. They're working on improving the area near the Columbia Gardens Wine and Artisan Village and Clover Island, and they're asking for public input. The second of 2 virtual meetings on the project is tomorrow at noon. You can see a link there to more information on your screen. You can share your thoughts via comments through August 16th. And the city of Pasco is moving forward with 2 major developments right in the heart of the city. First, Peanuts Park and the Farmers Market will be getting a makeover. The city council came to a recent agreement surrounding this project, and it will be going out to bid in the coming weeks. The second project, a piece of infrastructure dating back to the 30s. All right, let's take a quick break, but first let's take a live look outside. It's a sunny and peaceful day in Pendleton, Oregon. You could say the calm after the storm. Just a couple weeks ago, historic flooding hitting the region, the water rushing through properties, sometimes taking homes and other objects with it.
The storage container, the water came and dropped that there. My neighbor's house was underneath the second tree, and it washed away completely. Except for what's left, which here is my neighbor's roof.
Brent Hall was a little luckier. His house is still standing, but the place he and his family call home looks entirely different.
Can we get through this way? There was mud everywhere. Pretty much everything inside the house that was within a foot of the floor was damaged. Everybody who'd lived in the house previously told me it would never get to the house, but nobody expected a flood of this magnitude.
Volunteers from Samaritan's Purse now stepping in to help.
We'll actually get a text saying we are going to the disaster. We're going to look and see what's happening, stand by.
The organization is based on the other side of the country in North Carolina, but these volunteers came from all over and all walks of life.
We did drive 1,200 miles to get here. Our heart's desire is to go when we're called.
Even just out here in the few hours, they've done an amazing job cleaning things up.
When people lose their homes, it is a traumatic experience, and it gives us a unique opportunity to be able to come alongside that homeowner for just a few days, or sometimes just a few hours, and show them that people from across the nation really, truly care for them and love them enough to come sleep on a cot, sleep on the floor of a church, and work for them for absolutely nothing.
It's now been days of slow progress toward returning their life back to how it was.
We found them a warm place to lay on the hay that was donated to us.
Some things, though, may never be the same.
All of this rock we're standing on used to be grass.
A sobering fact that Hall and many other homeowners are having to grapple with.
We moved, my wife and I and 2 young daughters, 10 and 12, thinking this is where we wanted to raise them, to give them an outdoor experience and retire here eventually. But now we have about half the land we used to have. We don't have anywhere else to go, so obviously we're going to rebuild, but how long we stay here, I don't know, but who would buy it?
High school graduation, college graduation.
These two,
You've come out a couple times.
have gotten to experience many milestones together, despite being miles apart.
She's my favorite.
But the COVID-19 pandemic has changed things for Desiree and her grandfather, Del. His hobbies.
Been bowling since 1952, but I haven't been able to do that because they closed. Do jigsaw puzzles. They got about 35 of them.
And her big day.
We had like a venue and everything set up, and then March came around and everything hit the fan.
The coronavirus wasn't the only health concern affecting Desiree's summer wedding. Del was recently diagnosed with cancer. He doesn't fly, and it's a 17-hour drive from Kennewick to Colorado.
Can't force him in a car.
No. No, they offered to drive me out there and back, but it's the riding, it's the distance. I would have loved to have gone, I really would have.
Oh, and one more thing. Del doesn't have internet or a cell phone.
I have peace this way.
So along with switching to an outdoor venue, part of Desiree's wedding planning, figuring out how Del could still be a part.
I was gonna call someone from Craigslist and have them come out with their phone for you.
At least she could drive out and visit before the wedding and even put on her dress.
Great, sweetie.
Adding one more photo to their collection. A couple weeks later, she walked down the aisle. And though Del isn't the biggest fan of technology,
I'm a dinosaur.
a cell phone hotspot and my laptop helped him to watch from the comfort and safety of his living room. And even say hello to the bride.
Hi. I love you too.
You have any words of wisdom?
Yeah, come back and finish painting my house.
And of course,
We're gonna take a picture with you, Papa. Smile.
get one more photo together.
Are you smiling?
Yes, I'm smiling.
I love you, Papa.
Love you too.
In Kennewick,
No, just be good, be happy.
Carissa Lehmkuhl, Cap KVU Local News.
Oh, he's beautiful.
Isn't he though? They all are.
You may have seen them if you've biked or walked along the Columbia River in Richland.
Come on, Cassie.
And there's a story behind how this cat colony got here and how they continue to thrive.
I'm a cat lover.
Andrea Davidson works along the Riverfront Trail near Howard Amon Park
Hi, guys.
and has been helping a group take care of these feral cats for a few years now.
Aggie and Manny have named them all.
Feeding them regularly and taking them to get spayed. Many of them brought here and abandoned by former owners.
I hate to see the kittens out here every year. It's not an easy life for these cats.
But not everyone feels the same attachment to these felines.
They were going under the decks, so we had to put a barrier up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The cats are a nuisance. They come onto our property, come on to deck chairs.
This Richland resident has lived in the same riverfront condo for about 15 years.
It's been going on for a long time. They have an odor. They attract the skunks, which also come onto our property.
Her complaints are similar to others nearby. We talked to the management at the Hampton Inn, who complained of cats coming up onto their deck, attracting skunks. One guest even got sprayed.
Skunks are down here all the time anyway. I saw the skunks long before I saw the cats.
A possible compromise suggested by management at the Hampton, taking the cats to nearby farms and releasing them.
That's not a bad idea. At least there they would have the freedom that they have now, and as long as they took care of them. I'm kind of attached to them.
They're very convinced that they're doing the right thing. They dismiss the fact that they could be a nuisance.
They really aren't harming anybody.
I'm hoping that they will stop feeding the cats. In that way, they won't be so concentrated in this area.